All we need to do is to do the right, and all these things are being affected by corruption. Because people no longer find value in hard work, in productivity, in entrepreneurship. You started your own business. You are working hard to earn a living. Today, people who have no daytime job live better than you live. People who have no office live like stars. So it is a crisis. So we must deal with the issue of corruption aggressively. Maybe what the Chinese people are doing. Make sure that the amount you steal is death sentence. The amount you steal is life imprisonment. The amount you steal is not less than 10 years imprisonment.
Peter Obi is right. They always want to compare Nigeria with other countries when it suits their narrative, but they never want to emulate what other countries did when they were down, when they were still growing. If China didn't do it, they didn't enact the death penalty for corruption, maybe they wouldn't have grown to where they are today. So the only way Nigerians can achieve this is to take back their country first, because the people in power right now are corrupt. They are people who have wealth without enterprise. Start from Tinubu. What business was he into in the 90s? During the 2023 presidential election campaigns, he claimed he made his money from inheritance and many other things. But we all know that today he's so wealthy that he can't claim that money came from inheritance. Is it Akpabio, someone who was virtually unknown in the 90s, but after being governor, he has become stupendously wealthy? Many of them, especially in APC, they have wealth without enterprise. So you can't expect corrupt people to enact a law that will send them to prison. They can't do that. Just like when people demand for electoral reform, it is not the problem. The problem has always been implementation. They will do all sorts of things, commit all sorts of atrocities, and just shout back at you, go to court. The court is already in their pocket. So all they are doing, they don't know it, they are indirectly radicalizing Nigerians, because one day people will just get tired and say, no, damn it, let's face these people head on, or you only die once. Yes, it will happen. Since the Fourth Republic, people have been emerging. You have the likes of Gani Fawemi, who spoke for the poor. This man fought the military alone. He went to prison many times. And eventually when Gani Fawemi decided to contest for president, Nigerians didn't vote for him. A man they loved. They've always shown love to the man whenever he's in trouble. But the only time he said, okay, all that I've been criticizing, all that I've been talking about against the government, give me the opportunity to solve the problems myself. Do you know what? Nigerians rejected him. Gani Fawemi's example is very important. This is because of people who always say that Peter Obi should be at the forefront leading protests, that he should be confrontational, that he can't eat his cake and have it, that he doesn't want to die but he wants to go to heaven, that he's not prepared to take a bullet for something he believes in. Many things they say. Gani took the bullet. He challenged the military. He challenged Olusegun Obasanjo under a civilian government. He even challenged Tinubu. He was the one that dug deep into his past, all the certificate issues. He was there. He did everything. When he now presented himself and told Nigerians that he now wants to correct all the mistakes, all that the past governments have been doing, all the impoverishment they've brought on Nigerians, that he wants to correct everything. Nigerians looked him in the eye and rejected him. So it's either Nigerians don't know what they want, or they are intentionally working for corrupt politicians so as to benefit from them. Yes, many Nigerians are against corruption simply because they are not the people involved in the corruption. Look at the current politicians in power today. They are doing the exact opposite of what they campaigned against in the past. They created the impression that they were progressives, but today they can be best described as tax collectors, dictators, anything you can think of. Even the Nigerian military, all the time they took power from civilians in the past, they always blamed it on corruption. But they ended up being more corrupt than the civilians they displaced. So you can understand that they were simply jealous of the politicians, not because they were involved in corruption. They were simply jealous that they were not the ones stealing the money themselves. So how could they allow these people to be stealing money? Let us get to power and steal the money by ourselves instead of allowing outsiders or powerless civilians to steal the money. That's why we've never benefited from any coup in the past. There has never been a coup made in the national interest. It has always been personal interest. That's why Babangida spent 8 years and stepped aside, like he called it, and allowed his colleague and friend Sani Abacha to take over. Sani Abacha took over and wanted to turn himself to a civilian president, if not because he died. So everyone is built differently. Whether you're a confrontational politician or a gentle one, Nigerians will always blame the person for something because they always like to shift the blame. They run away from their responsibilities. They always expect that messiah, one person, come and take that risk on our behalf. And when something happens, they will be the first to blame that person. Yes, this is the Nigerian mindset. This is also exactly what happened to MKO Abiola. All his associates at the time, they were pushing him. They kept pushing him. You won the election. Declare yourself president. Abacha will run away. This, that. They pushed the man to the extent that he declared himself president. Some even gaslighted him. They told him, you are the Are Onaka Kamfo. You owe the nation a duty to declare yourself the president. So that was how they pushed him to the limit, and Abacha, looking for an excuse, locked him up. So Nigerians must understand that no one will do it for them. They must mobilize and do it themselves. Maybe why we have this mindset is because Nigeria didn't experience a long and treacherous independence struggle like South Africa and other African countries. We got it nearly on a platter. It was a negotiation. They told Zik and Awolowo, go back to Nigeria, get the North involved, because the North weren't even interested in getting independence at the time. If they were interested, we would have gotten independence maybe in 1950 or 55, thereabout. But because they kept negotiating with the North, who refused the independence, they didn't want to be independent. And at the end of the day, when they agreed, Nigeria was now granted independence in 1960. There was no serious struggle. They didn't fight like in South Africa, in Zimbabwe, many places. So maybe that's why we don't have that rebel in us. We are not rebellious when we are supposed to be rebelling against people who impoverish us, who steal from us. Yes. This should be the reality, but people just walk around as if nothing is wrong, minding their business, making it easy for thieves to get away with their crime. Yes, it doesn't make any sense. When someone is telling you that he's coming to steal from you, are you going to leave your doors wide open to make the job easy for the person? Or are you going to fight back and at least put up a fight, not just run away like a coward? So you can blame Nigerians for being part of the problem, for contributing to the problems facing Nigerians. When they get tired of making excuses for their oppressors, they will take their country back. It might not be through P2B. Another P2B will emerge in the future when it gets old. Even after that, more P2Bs and the likes of Ganifa Wemis will always emerge in Nigeria. The question will be, will Nigerians be ready by that time to take back their country? Our peers have all left us behind. Countries that used to look up to Nigeria for motivation, they now look down on us. They now deny us visas. They now set conditions. You have to present land documents from your ancestors before you are granted visas. Even when you travel, you still face harassment across international airports around the world. So these are the issues Nigerians face. Are they tired of these issues? That's the problem. Once they are tired, these people will all run away. Forget about their narrative. It is meant to keep you demoralized, to make you feel, you're powerless, there's nothing you can do. Tinubu will win without contesting whether you vote or not, that they will announce him. No. Nigerians must realize the power they have. They must make use of that power, especially during elections. Because we are supposed to be in a democracy, the only way to change government is through voting. Once that time comes, make sure you seize the opportunity. It is people that rig elections. How many are there? How many are INEC workers? Yes, people might say they will write the results. Write it and Nigerians will refuse. Yes, that's exactly what they did in 2015. They warned Jonathan, they threatened him that if he tries to rig the election to his favor, that they will form a parallel government, an interim government that will challenge him. So Nigerians need to take it seriously. Yes. Unless we are not going to hold the elections, unless they are not going to give Nigerians the opportunity to vote them out. Otherwise, Nigerians must use that opportunity to do the right thing. If you miss that opportunity, you have to suffer till another 4 years. So better make hay while the sun shines.
Follow critical investment in critical areas of development. First, invest in education. Invest in health and productivity. If you do that, Africa today, in terms of land area, is the second biggest continent. Have the biggest youthful population of only out of 1.5 billion African population. As you know, about 1 billion old are youthful population in their productive age. Africa remains the only continent with over 60% of its arable land all cultivated. So how can you talk about hunger? You can't talk about hunger. And I've used certain examples. India. Africa is about 30.5 million square kilometers. India is about 3,000 plus, which means Africa is 10 times India's size. India produces nearly 150 million tons of rice. Africa as a whole produces about 25 to 6,000. So India produces 6 times the amount of rice Africa produces. What if we even one that will show clearly that Africa is unproductive is that Bangladesh is around 48,000 square kilometers plus, which is less than 1%. It's about 0.05% of African size. Bangladesh, but they produce twice the amount of rice that Africa produces. So it's incredible. You find out that it's not going to work. It's not going. There's no way. There's no way. Even in Nigeria alone, 60% of our arable land is uncultivated. We have 923,000 square kilometers of land. Bangladesh is 148 plus. So Bangladesh is 1/6 of Nigerian size. Yet Nigeria does not produce 10% of the amount of rice Bangladesh produces.
And this is the future our children will not ask us, what did you do? You keep complaining, but you did nothing about it. So, but it seems that they are trying to encourage all of us not to bother. It's just to say, no, don't even talk. Don't even say anything. And because your friend is in power, then you should stop talking. So the only people you can criticize are your enemies. So, and for me, criticism is an advice. I don't see criticism as an attack.
No.
It's an advice. You know, if Tinubu is my friend, then why can't I advise him? Even Buhari that we said he was a soldier. When I wrote the memos against him, he invited me to a meeting. So, and I went there. I didn't go there with a CV. I didn't say I needed a job. I told him, I said, all presidents before you, I advised them. I appointed myself special advisor with that portfolio free of charge. And I gave a compilation of what I wrote to other presidents. And he even asked me to autograph. I signed for it. That's a soldier. Then we now have civilians who says we can't talk. So what do we do?
And everybody's keeping quiet.
Everybody, so what do we do?